The Boy Who Could Hear Thoughts. Published by Autumn Wells. For the ones who stayed and the ones who didn't. People lie with their mouths, but not with their minds. I've heard confessions wrapped in silence, regret hidden beneath laughter, love that never reached the lips. Everyone's drowning in their own noise. And me? I'm the boy standing at the bottom of the ocean, listening to every scream the world forgot to say aloud. Entry number 1172. I don't remember what it feels like to hear nothing. Even in sleep, someone's whispering. Thoughts echo like old radio signals, flickering in and out. They don't stop when I close my eyes. They amplify. Sometimes I wonder if I ever meet someone whose mind is quiet. Would I fall in love? Or just be terrified of the silence?
Chapter 1. The Constant Storm. The noise never stops. Not the kind you can block with headphones, not footsteps or locker doors or the low hum of hallway lights. Those are easy, predictable. This is different. This is the kind of noise that crawls inside your skull and lives there. It's the thoughts. I don't know how to explain it without sounding insane, but I can hear what people think. Not all the time, not clearly like spoken words, but enough to know what they really mean, enough to know how fake this place is. I walk through the corridor with my hood up and headphones in, no music playing, just white noise, just something to make the world feel a little quieter, even if it isn't. People pass me on both sides. Their thoughts stick to me like static. She looks terrible in that sweater. I hope Coach forgot we have gym today. If I fail this test, my dad's going to kill me. Some thoughts whisper, others scream. Some don't even belong to the person thinking them, just echoes of other people they've absorbed. That's the worst part. Most people aren't thinking for themselves. They're just reruns. It's always been like this, ever since I was 12. I don't know how or why, but it happened. One day, I woke up and the world was louder. Not in sound, in truth. And the truth is exhausting. I've tried to ignore it, to focus, to act normal. But once you've heard someone planning to cheat on their boyfriend, or lie to their best friend, or fantasize about setting their classroom on fire, you can't unhear it. You can't pretend the world is okay. So I stopped trying. I walked the same route to class every day, past the art room, left at the broken vending machine, cut through the corner by the trophy case. It's muscle memory by now. I know every face I pass, and most of their private fears, too. Then it happens. Halfway through the main hallway, just as I'm about to turn, I feel it. A stillness, a quiet. Not like peace or calm, more like the world dropped out beneath me. For the first time in 5 years, I hear nothing. I freeze. In a hallway packed with voices and anxiety and secrets, this one corner is completely silent, a hole in the noise and absence. My eyes scan the crowd, and then I see her. She's standing near the lockers. Black boots, gray hoodie, sketchbook pressed to her chest. She's not talking, not looking around, just staring at the floor like the world doesn't matter. But it's not her posture that gets me. It's the silence coming off her like gravity. No thoughts, no noise, no whispers or static or buried secrets, just blank. I blink and it's still there, the nothing. Then she looks up. Not at me exactly, but through me. Her eyes are pale and unreadable, like she's looking past the hallway, past this school, past everything. And for a split second, I think she sees me in a way that no one else has. I take a step forward, but the bell rings, and the moment shatters. The flood of thoughts returns. My focus slips, the hallway moves again. and she's gone. Just like that. I stand there for a moment trying to catch the silence again, but it's gone, buried beneath the normal noise of 1,000 teenage brains buzzing and spiraling. But something's different now. For years, I thought I'd never hear peace again. Now I know it exists, and I need to know why.
Chapter 2. The Girl with No Sound. I try to find her all day, between classes, at lunch, even during chemistry when Mr. Paris is explaining molecular bonds for the 3rd time this month. My mind is somewhere else, stuck in that moment in the hallway. The silence, the gravity of it. Who was she? She isn't in any of my classes. I would have noticed her. Someone like that doesn't just blend in, especially not to someone like me. But somehow she does. After school, I sit alone on the rusting metal bleachers by the old track field. The football team is out practicing, yelling and running and thudding against each other like it means something. I'm staring at the sky. It's gray, like it forgot how to be blue. I replay it again. The silence, the look in her eyes, and how it made the world feel real for a second. It's strange. People would probably kill to hear what I hear. They think it's cool, like some comic book power. But they don't know what it's like to hear everything all the time. Every hidden betrayal, every lie, every panic attack disguised as a smile. Silence is rare. Silence is precious. And now I'm chasing it. I flip open my journal. It's black leather, worn at the edges with a few pages torn out. Each page holds fragments of thought I couldn't ignore, sentences I picked up in class or at the bus stop, things I wish I hadn't heard. He'll never love me like he loved her. If I don't get that scholarship, I'm ending it. Sometimes I wonder what it'd feel like to crash the car. Thoughts like that don't leave you. They stick like tar. But today, the page is empty, because for the first time in a long time, there was nothing to write. Just one word. Her. I don't know her name. I don't know anything about her. But I know that when she looked at me, it felt like she knew exactly what I was. I close the journal. The wind picks up, soft and cold. Then I hear a voice behind me. You write poetry or murder plans? I turn. She's there, standing just a few feet away, holding her sketchbook like a shield. Her voice is calm, measured, like she's used to not being surprised by much. She raises her eyebrow when I don't answer right away. Sorry, just wasn't expecting. She shrugs. People rarely expect me. That's half the fun. I try to listen, to catch a thread of thought. Still nothing. It's like she doesn't think at all. Like her mind is wrapped in fog, or maybe sealed shut. My head feels hollow near her, but not in a bad way, in a quiet way. Like standing outside a locked room you didn't know you needed to enter. You were staring earlier, she says. I wasn't. You were, she cuts in, matter of fact. I hesitate. Sorry, it's just weird. You're, new? She offers. Quiet, I say. She tilts her head. Not really. She sits on the bleachers, leaving one row between us, opens her sketchbook, starts to draw. Charcoal from the look of it. Her fingers move fast, confident. I glance over, curious. It's me. She's drawing me. I should say something, but I don't. I just sit there, letting the silence return. And for the first time in forever, I don't feel like running away from it.
Chapter 3. Static. The next day, I wait by the art hallway. I don't even try to make it look casual. I'm just standing there, leaning against the wall, pretending to scroll through my phone while watching the flow of students shuffle past. I'm not proud of it, but I can't stop thinking about her. About the silence. She shows up right before the bell, hood up, sketchbook in hand, moving like a ghost through a world too loud to care. She sees me. Of course she does. And like yesterday, she says nothing. Just walks past, without slowing down, without thinking. Or maybe she is thinking, and I just can't hear it. That's what bothers me the most. I don't know if her silence is natural, or if it's something else, something wrong. I fall in step beside her. "Hey," I say. She doesn't stop walking. "You don't give up, do you?" "No." "Why?" "Because I don't meet many people I can't figure out 5 seconds. She glances at me. There's something amused in her eyes, or maybe annoyed. Hard to tell. "You mean you're a great judge of character," she says. "I mean, I hear what people think." The moment I say it, I regret it. Too soon, too weird, too true. But she doesn't laugh, doesn't call me crazy, doesn't even blink. Instead, she says, "Is that why you look so tired all the time?" I stop walking. She doesn't. By the time I catch up, she's already outside, sitting under the tree near the old bike racks. Same place I used to hide during lunch before I learned to fake being normal. "I'm Noah," I say, trying again. "I know." I pause. "You do?" "You sit in the 3rd row of English Lit. You chew your pencil when you're nervous. You don't raise your hand unless you're sure you're right. And you always leave the cafeteria 5 minutes early." I stare at her. She flips a page in her sketchbook. "You're not the only one who notices things," she says without looking up. I sit beside her, this time closer. Still no thoughts, still no noise, just stillness. But something's wrong. I can feel it, like interference, a pressure building in my head. The silence isn't peaceful anymore. It's heavy, like a vacuum sucking sound out of my mind. My ears ring. I blink. The world tilts slightly, like the frequency of the air changed. "You okay?" she asks. I nod, even though I'm not. I reach up, press my fingers to my temples. They're static. Not from her, but from me. Like my thoughts are bouncing back, like I'm listening to myself through broken glass. It passes. Fades. But I don't like it. She watches me, her expression unreadable. "I should go," I say, standing up. She closes the sketchbook. "See you tomorrow, mind reader." And just like that, she's gone again. But the silence lingers, and so does the echo of my own voice, trapped inside my head, like something trying to claw its way out.
Chapter 4. The Glitch. That night, I dream of silence. Not peace, not rest, just silence so thick it feels like drowning in cotton. No thoughts, no memories, no names, not even my own voice. Just dark water and white noise. When I wake up, I can't breathe for a second. I sit up in bed, heart pounding. My bedroom is still. The fan spins lazily above me. My alarm clock says 2:43 a.m. But something's wrong. There's a buzzing in the back of my head, like a fly trapped inside a glass jar. Faint, repeating, not a word, not a voice, just a single sound. My name. Over and over again. Noah. 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 Soft, distant, familiar. I press my hands to my ears, but it's not coming from outside. It's inside me. An echo caught in a loop. My own mind stuttering. It fades by morning, but the damage stays. At school, everything feels louder. The usual thoughts are still there. People complaining, planning, flirting, panicking. But it's worse today. The edges of their thoughts are sharp, like they're being shouted through a broken speaker. Even my teacher's mind is messy, scattered with panic about bills and a sick cat. I try to tune it out, but it cuts through me. And then, like before, she walks by, and suddenly the noise vanishes again. She moves like a shadow, weaving through the hallway without touching anyone. She doesn't rush, doesn't speak, but when she passes me, the ringing stops. Like she flips a switch I didn't know existed. And just like that, I can think clearly again. I follow her. Not obviously, just a few steps back. She doesn't seem to notice. Or maybe she does and just doesn't care. She heads to the art room. I hover near the door, watch her take a seat by the window and open her sketchbook. She's drawing again, alone. I step in slowly. No one else is around yet. She looks up. "Stalker much?" I shrug. "Artist bait?" She smiles. Barely. "Original." I sit in the chair across from her. Still nothing in my head, no signal, no thoughts. It's like she's broadcasting on a frequency I can't reach. I usually talk. All right, you want to talk? I ask. Only when it's worth it. Is this worth it? She considers that. Ask a better question. I lean in. Why can't I hear you? Her pencil pauses. She meets my eyes. Something flickers there. Recognition, maybe. Or challenge. "I don't think you're asking the right person," she says quietly. "What does that mean?" She flips to a new page. I watch her draw for a minute. Lines take shape. Soft at first, then sharper, bolder. She turns the sketchbook toward me. It's a picture of me, but not normal. In the drawing, my head is cracked open, and inside are tangled wires, static, and 1,000 little voices clawing their way out. My stomach turns. I look at her. "What are you?" She closes the book. "See you tomorrow, Noah." Before I can answer, the bell rings, and she's gone again.
Chapter 5. Frequencies. I skip lunch. The cafeteria is too loud today, not just in the usual way. The thoughts are layered wrong, like someone turned up the wrong frequencies on a broken radio. Everything is sharp and distorted. I hear people thinking things they're not even saying in their heads. A guy thinks about kissing his ex, even while he's laughing with someone new. A girl stares at her phone, smiling at a message, but her thoughts say she's lying. Someone near the soda machine is wondering how long it would take for anyone to notice if they vanished. I press my fingers into my temples, but it doesn't help. The sound keeps leaking in. I sit in the hallway, near the old lockers no one uses anymore, my back against the cold brick, eyes closed, trying to focus on one voice at a time. That used to help. Not today. Today it's all too much, too loud, too broken. And then everything cuts out. It happens like flipping a switch. The buzzing stops. The voices vanish. I don't have to look up to know why. She's standing there. Not beside me. Not close enough to touch, but near enough for the air to change. The silence is instant. It wraps around me like a shield, or maybe a trap. I open my eyes. She's watching me. Sketchbook tucked under one arm, expression unreadable. "You really don't look good," she says. You don't even know what good looks like for me. She walks over and sits beside me. Same quiet grace, same strange comfort in stillness. I thought you said you didn't talk unless it was worth it. She shrugs. Maybe this is worth it. I stare at her, at the way the light from the window hits her eyes, pale and impossible to name. Everything about her feels unreal, like she was drawn into this world instead of born into it. I still don't understand you. I don't expect you to. I ask again, what are you? That's not a very polite question. I don't care about polite, I care about answers. She leans back against the wall and looks up at the ceiling. You hear everyone, don't you? Yes. And you don't understand why. That I figured out. You hear everyone, but you don't hear me. Yes. You know I am not the one who offers the silence. I didn't. And that scares you. I pause, then nod. She doesn't smile, doesn't tease, just watches me for a long moment, like she's trying to decide whether I'm worth explaining anything to. She used to think she could be heard. What? She used to be heard, but then she realized she didn't know one to hurt her anymore. I tilt my head. You wanted to be figured out? Back then, yes. Now I'm not so sure. The hallway is quiet, except for the hum of the lights. There's a part of me that wants to ask more, dig deeper, force an answer out of her, but I don't. Not yet. Because somehow I know this isn't a person you push. She stands. Come with me. Where? She starts walking without answering. I hesitate for a second. Then follow her. Because the noise is returning behind me, and I'd rather chase a question into the dark than drown in the truth I already know.
Chapter 6. The Art Room. She leads me through a part of the school I've never really paid attention to. Past the science labs, past the drama wing where the walls are covered in old posters, past a door marked Art Storage, Staff Only. She doesn't knock, doesn't hesitate, just slips inside like she belongs there. I follow. The air inside smells like charcoal and dust and old paint. The room is narrow and lined with shelves stacked high with empty canvases and broken frames, forgotten projects. Light filters in from a high frosted window, soft and gray. She flicks on a desk lamp in the far corner. Yellow light spills across a cluttered table covered with half-finished sketches. Mostly faces. Some animals, some eyes. Always eyes. She takes a seat on the edge of the table and looks at me. I stay standing. Why are we here? I ask. She looks around, then shrugs. This is the only place no one listens. I nod slowly. You mean no one comes here? No, I mean no one listens. Even the building forgets this room exists. I don't know what that means, but I feel it. The silence here is different. Not just absence of thought, but something heavier. Like we've stepped outside the edge of the map. like the rules are a little looser here. She pulls a sheet of paper from a drawer, hands me a pencil. She says, "Draw something." "I don't draw." "Try." I hesitate, then take the pencil, sit across from her at the table. The paper stares up at me, blank and waiting. My hand doesn't move. "What am I supposed to draw?" I ask. She leans back, crosses her arms. "Whatever is too loud to say." I look at the page again. Then I draw a box. Just a simple square right in the middle. And I shade it in dark and heavy, like it's locked shut. When I finish, I slide the paper toward her. She studies it for a moment, then tears the paper in half. "Hey, it's not real. It's just what you wish was there." I look at the torn paper. My chest feels tight. "How do you know that?" I ask. "Because people like us don't get quiet by building walls. We get quiet when the signal dies." I stare at her. "What signal?" She smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. "You'll find out soon." Then she flips open her sketchbook again and starts to draw without looking at me. I sit there for a while, not speaking, not thinking, and for a few minutes the world forgets to scream.
Chapter 7. A Name Like Static. The next day, I wake up with a nosebleed. There's blood on my pillowcase, a smear on my fingers. I sit up slowly, dizzy, like I've been underwater for hours. My ears ring faintly. My thoughts echo. Something is changing. I walk to school in a frog. The thoughts are still there, but they're skipping, glitching, like someone's cut parts out of a tape and spliced it back together wrong. I catch fragments. If they find out, I didn't mean to hit send. What if she never wakes up? Then silence. Then more fragments, like a broken antenna spinning in the wind. I see her during third period, sitting in the courtyard alone, sketching in the shadow of the old stone fountain. Her hoodie's pulled up, sleeves covering her hands. She looks small today, distant. I sit across from her without asking. For a moment, neither of us speaks. You ever wake up and feel like something's missing, but you don't know what? She looks up. All the time. Do you know why it happens? She nods slowly. Because your brain is trying to protect you from something. Like trauma? Like truth. She tears the page from her sketchbook, folds it once, then again, slides it across the stone between us. I stare at it for a second, then unfold it. It's not a drawing this time. It's a single word written in tight, steady handwriting. Lyra. I look up. Is that your name? That's what they called me. Who's they? She doesn't answer. Just looks past me into the trees. Something tightens in my chest. Why are you telling me now? Because names are important. And if something happens, you should at least know mine. I pause. The paper flutters in my hand. What is going to happen? She finally looks at me again. Her eyes are tired. Not in the way people get from staying up too late, but in the way people get when they've carried something for too long. I think you're starting to hear something you weren't supposed to. The wind moves through the courtyard, and for the first time, The silence doesn't feel safe. It feels like a countdown.
Chapter 8. The Quiet Room. There's a hum under my skin. Not a sound, not a feeling, just something low and constant, like a warning signal no one else can hear. I try to ignore it. Try to make it through the day like everything's fine, like I'm not slipping, like I'm not starting to lose the one thing that used to define me. The thoughts are harder to hear now. Not gone, just scrambled. The girl who used to worry about her weight now thinks in fragments. The boy who cheated on the math test keeps replaying the same 3 numbers. The teacher's stress loops like a broken tape. Mortgage, cat, bills, breathe. Mortgage, cat, bills, breathe. It's all there, but it's warped, twisted, like the world's thinking in a language I forgot how to translate. And when I see Lyra, when I sit beside her in the edge of the field where the grass is dying and the sky is cracked with gray, everything drops into stillness again. But this time, it hurts. My ears ring. My throat tightens. I feel my thoughts pressing inward like gravity turned upside down. She looks over. Her face is unreadable. "You feel it now?" she says quietly. I don't know what it is. You've been tuned in too long. The frequency is burning through you. I stare at her. What does that mean? You thought you were listening, but you've been broadcasting too. The ground feels farther away than it should. The sky feels closer. I sit down. I used to think you were some kind of mirror. Now I'm not so sure. Myra doesn't answer. She reaches into her sketchbook, tears out a single sheet, folds it, slides it into my hand. "For when it gets too loud," she says. I unfold it. It's blank. Not a drawing, not a message. Just empty space. She stands and walks away. And as I sit there, holding nothing, for the first time, I wonder if I'm the one being drawn.
Chapter 9. Feedback. I stop hearing my mother's thoughts first. It happens on a Thursday morning, when she's making coffee and flipping through unpaid bills. Usually, I can hear the low-level hum of her stress, worries about groceries, about work, about whether I'm sleeping enough. Today, nothing. I stare at her from across the kitchen table. She talks, something about a meeting, but her mind is blank to me. A silent wall. I nod without answering, and she doesn't notice. In school, the silence spreads. My best friend James waves me down in the hallway, says something about a late group project. He's smiling, but his thoughts are flat. Not hidden, not quite, just missing. It's like someone pressed mute on the whole world. Except for me. I hear my own thoughts louder than ever. They echo, they loop. I start thinking things I didn't mean to think, questions that don't sound like mine. What happens when the listener becomes the noise? What if silence isn't peace, but the first sign of a collapse? I try to focus on anything else, on routine, on the hallway tiles, on the sound of my footsteps. That's when I see her. She's sitting on the floor outside the art room, back against the wall, sketchbook resting on her knees. I sit beside her, no hesitation anymore,
just gravity. I gave me a blank page, I say. She doesn't look up. Did you read it? There was nothing to read. Exactly. I exhale. I'm losing it. No, you're shedding it. Shedding what? The interference. I press my palms to my eyes. My head aches like something's about to split open. I said you were broadcasting. You were. You still are. But now there's no one tuned in. I look at her. She finally meets my gaze. Why me? I ask. She hesitates, just for a moment. Because you were already breaking when I found you. I just made it quieter. I want to be angry, but I'm too tired. Am I going to forget everything? She doesn't answer. Will I forget you? Still nothing. She closes her sketchbook, stands, and walks away. This time she doesn't say, "See you tomorrow." And for the first time since she entered my life, I wonder if tomorrow is even real.
Chapter 10. The Hollow Frequency. I stopped dreaming. Not just at night, I mean completely. When I close my eyes now, there's nothing. No flashes, no sound, just the color of forgetting. And when I open them, things are missing. I forget names I've known since kindergarten. I walk into rooms and forget why I'm there. I see faces and can't remember who they belong to, or if they ever belonged to anyone at all. Even my own thoughts aren't mine anymore. They speak to me like strangers. Don't look directly at it. She was never real. Silence is not absence. It's containment. I write things down now. Notes to myself, on my phone, on napkins, on the inside of my wrist. Reminders of who I am, what day it is, that I still exist. But the ink fades faster than it should. I find her at the edge of the old football field, sitting on the bleachers where this all started. It feels like years ago now. She looks different, smaller, or maybe it's me that's smaller. My body feels thin and stretched out across too many places, like a ghost trying to remember where it last belonged. I sit beside her. I can't hear anyone anymore, I say. She nods like she already knows. And I don't think anyone hears me either. They never did, she says quietly. I close my eyes. The silence presses in, but now I can feel something behind it. A structure, a shape, like a signal still transmitting somewhere, just not here. Tell me the truth, I say. She looks over. Her expression is tired, not in a human way, in a deeper, more permanent way. You said your name was Lyra, I continue. Is that true? It was one of them. Who are you? She's quiet for a long time. Then she answers. I'm the part of you that stopped screaming. The words knock the wind out of me. I try to stand. My legs don't respond. The sky above us is too white now. Not clouds, just blankness. Like the sky has forgotten it ever was supposed to hold weather. I was never outside of me, I whisper. She smiles faintly. You always thought the noise came from others, but it didn't. No. I look around. The school is fading. The sounds, the people, the buildings, it's all soft now, like the edge of an old photograph. How does this end? I ask. It doesn't, she says. That's the point.
I feel the silence folding inward, a spiral, a wave collapsing into itself. I'm scared, I say. I know, but fear is just noise too. And then she's gone, and I'm sitting alone in a world that no longer remembers. It once was loud.
Chapter 11. The Boy Who Could Hear Thoughts. I walk the halls. They're empty now. Not quite. Not abandoned. Just absent. Like a place that once held noise, but forgot how to echo. There are no footsteps, except mine. No voices. No thoughts. I reached my locker. It's still there. Same dent on the corner. Same sticker I never peeled off. I open it, though I don't remember the combination. It opens anyway. Inside, there's nothing. Not even dust. I stand there for a long time, then close it, gently. Somewhere between the school and the street, the sky splits open, but not with rain or thunder. With static, it pours from the clouds like white snow on a broken television screen. It doesn't fall, it buzzes all around me, inside me. The silence has grown teeth. It presses on my spine, my ribs, my skull. I hear something again, but it's not a voice. It's not human. It's the memory of a sound, a broadcast from inside a head that doesn't want to be listened to anymore. My head. And in the static, I see her. She's standing just beyond the edge of the streetlight. Hood down, eyes steady. The wind doesn't touch her. I walk to her, step by step. But the closer I get, the more I realize she's not waiting for me. She's watching. She doesn't speak. Neither do I. She holds out a sketchbook. I take it. Inside, every page is filled. Scenes of me alone, afraid, listening, drowning. On the last page is a single drawing. A mirror. But there's no reflection in it. Only white. Only static. I look up. She's gone. I sit on the curb as the sky hums above me. I used to hear everything. Now I hear nothing. And maybe that's the loudest sound of all.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Got thoughts or feedback? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you want more stories like this, hit that like and subscribe button. New tales drop every week. Don't miss them. Remember, your journey doesn't stop here. This is just the beginning. Let's grow together. See you next time.